Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Entrepreneur Interview Series. I'm Nix Pawlowski, and this week I am joined by Lev Stambler of Brite Signal. Brite Signal is a digital signage platform that allows your business to communicate in-store effectively. Lev, it's a pleasure to speak with you today. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Lev, as mentioned. I'm a freshman at CMU. I study electrical computer engineering. I'm a co-founder of Brite Signal. My other co-founder goes to Rochester Institute of Technology. And that's about it for me.
So can you tell us exactly what it is that Brite Signal does?
So Brite Signal is a platform for TVs within brick and mortar stores, like your local restaurant or hair salon or anything along those lines, to display their own content, to display their business partners' content, or display advertisements. So what that means is really just like a Chromecast or Amazon Fire Stick that a business owner plugs into a TV that they have in the store. And then using our platform, they can show content like advertisements or promotions for themselves, or if they have a business partner, they can cross-promote. So that means that, let's say you have a coffee shop and a restaurant, the coffee shop can show promotions for the restaurant, and the restaurant can show promotions for the coffee shop. And then if the coffee shop is looking for any extra revenue, they can show external advertisements and make some extra money on the side.
Can you talk a little about how Brite Signal was founded and where the name Brite Signal comes from?
So we were founded with an almost entirely different idea, really just being a platform for advertising. About a year ago, my friend and I were both second semester seniors, so we were looking for something to do. And he came into this problem of showing ads while working at his sister's running studio startup. And in the end, we decided to just sit down and start something. We did everything all wrong at first, so we didn't really bother looking into like customer discovery or anything that wasn't building out a very bad product. But in the end, I guess I learned a lot. I learned a lot about programming and software design. Then I joined the Short Center though, as I came into CMU, and I was assigned a mentor, Will Kagler, and he went over with me what I had to do to take Brite Signal to the next level. And that was almost entirely customer discovery, more market research, and just understanding who my customers are in a better way. And that forced us to actually pivot Brite Signal away from just being an advertising platform to more of being a digital signage platform. Yeah, we ended up coming up with Brite Signal because Brite as just almost like a hub of light, and same thing with Signal, signaling to customers, signaling to people, and just Brite Signal came about as being just a central place of content.
So Brite Signal signs are doing a lot more than just advertising. You're seeing a lot of different uses out of them. So what are some of the more interesting uses of Brite Signal TVs that you think could appear?
So one of the more interesting uses, especially as it correlates to COVID and everything going on right now, is using Brite Signal as a way to put up guidelines in restaurants and stores. Actually, what we're trying to do now is talk to grocery stores. We're doing customer discovery with them, and we're reaching out to a lot of them and speaking with some business owners to try to use Brite Signal as a way to not only promote certain content within grocery stores, but also as a way to promote certain guidelines. So there's certain social distancing guidelines, certain cleanliness guidelines. So as just a way to respond easily to COVID.
So you can almost use them as like a public service announcement tool for like weather warnings or even missing persons.
Right. So it's really just about what the TV owner wants to put up. And you would think that there would be a lot out there already for business owners to put up content on their TV. And while there are platforms out there, they're either very expensive, very difficult to use, require a contractor to use them, or they're just simply can't fill all the TV owners' purposes. So really what we're trying to do is provide something that's as easy as possible for a business owner to use, and something that allows them to have functionality outside of just their store. So if they want to cross-promote or show content for others, they can do that as well.
So if I'm a business owner and I want to advertise on a TV in my small business in the Pittsburgh area, how fast do you think I could get a Brite Signal working on my TV?
Sure. So we timed it, and currently it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to set up. If you have
From
Wi-Fi.
beginning to end, that's 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
And then you're already making revenue.
So it's 3 to 5 minutes just to set up the TV. If somebody wants to show advertisements in your store, we have not built that part of the app out yet. but it would really just be a 2-minute process of reviewing what people want to show, how much they're willing to pay, and that's it, just pressing check or X.
What do you think Brite Signal could expand into in terms of other uses or other industries in the future, far future?
So we want to become a hub for brick and mortar stores. So besides just digital signage, we want to provide Brite Signal as sort of a central platform to connect to your IoT for brick and mortars. So different things as if, let's say a business, let's say there's not enough toilet paper in a restroom. There could be some sort of QR code or something which would hook up with the Brite Signal ecosystem that can alert business owners when they need toilet paper or anything along those lines. And just really using it to build out the technical infrastructure in businesses. So the idea is just essentially using Brite Signal as a way to better interface the physical world with our platform. So it could be as simple as having a tablet running Brite Signal software that has a QR code on it. And then when you scan that tablet, which would be running digital signage software, of course, it could go to our servers and then ping the business owners saying, hey, you're running out of toilet paper here, or let's say they're running out of soap, or if they're missing some things in the aisles, so if the aisles are empty. And that way business owners can better keep up with their inventory and just their general business's welfare.
So everything in any sort of brick and mortar establishment, it can be digitalized and you can have screens all over the place that make the entire experience interactive.
Sure. So we don't want to overcrowd or make the experience of brick and mortars overbearing, because there's still a certain appeal to having some sort of physicality and not having everything be digital.
So there's this balance between having an experience that's not very interactive in a brick and mortar store and this experience that's just overwhelming with screens and digitization.
Right. So we are not going to be the ones installing the screens. It's really up to the brick and mortars to find the middle grounds. But what we want to do with digital signage and Brite Signal is just give the tools necessary to the brick and mortar stores and allow them to have that platform around which they can build out their technical infrastructure.
Do you think there's ever going to be any use for TVs enabled with Brite Signal, perhaps like outside of commercial stores, like maybe on public streets or in residential homes?
Yeah, for sure. So Brite Signal will be a great platform for showing public service announcements on the streets, right? So please keep 6 feet apart. In residential homes, it could be very useful for, well, not residential homes like in-house, but more like nursing homes or anything along those lines, apartments. It can be used to show events that are coming up. It can be used to show specific offerings. It can be used as a way to attract new people and new clients, new residents into the facility or anything along those lines.
So really anywhere there can be a sign, there can be Brite Signal.
Exactly.
What sort of support do you see from all of the different entrepreneurship resources at CMU, such as the Schwartz Center for Entrepreneurship?
So currently I'm part of the Schwartz Center for Entrepreneurship and Project Olympus. Both have been great helps in terms of resources and mentorship. So just having someone to talk to, someone to tell me, hey, you need to do more to customer discovery, or someone to tell me that I should stop and think before I dive into programming, as I have a tendency to do, is just extremely useful and extremely helpful. Moreover, I have the opportunity of having a desk at the Schwartz Center, which is, it's a place to work out of. Not currently, but during the school year, it's a place to work out of. So I'm not stuck in my room or stuck in Hunt or forced to one area 24/7. And that was definitely just a great help. And then finally, just being surrounded by all the other entrepreneurs, people with a lot more experience than I have, was just amazing. I've learned so much from the different companies and the different garages there. I've done internships for the garages there. I've done work for the garages there. And it's a great learning experience and a great way to grow. Can't say that I can give that much advice. I don't feel like I'm at a level to do so, but definitely don't, if you're technically oriented, don't just jump into a project and start coding. Do your customer discovery and do your market research. Make sure you know what you're doing and know what you're jumping into before you really sit down to even like write a single line of code.
What I like to think about is what Brite Signal will be in the far, far future.
Right.
like if you're putting TVs into different local businesses now,
Right.
what will you put into local businesses 40 years from now?
So 40 years from now, we would hope to make Brite Signal again a lot more of just an IoT hub for businesses. So it would not just be about digital signage. That would be more of a jumping off point. It'd be more about creating some sort of hardware hub for other things to plug into. So you would have a hardware hub in the store or some sort of central platform in a store. And maybe you can plug a robot can just plug and play with this platform to go and restock the shelves as necessary. Or a cleaning robot could also plug and play with the platform to know when to clean. And then in general, the entire idea is to automate and bring IoT into brick and mortars through our platform. We could bring really anything you can imagine, like restocking shelves, flipping burgers, a robot that's trying to like show demonstrations of like how to use a certain product. Anything that can really just be imagined with technology in a store, we want to be there centrally for that.
So can you imagine a future where what Brite Signal is doing right now evolves into like holograms that are in restaurants and in grocery stores that display items, or like augmented reality glasses that are showing you things in real time that could be digitally in the store?
Yeah, for sure. Like TVs are just one medium of displaying information. We hope to create sort of digital signage for any sort of medium, any sort of hologram, augmented reality type thing. It would be a similar idea. You just drag and drop. You just want to show this food item in a certain location, you can do so. And yeah, that would definitely be an awesome reality for Brite Signal.
And this can sort of create the far futuristic like TV shows and sci-fi shows that we've all seen, where there's holograms all over the streets with signs, and there's digital signs everywhere that you can just see floating in the air.
Again, we still see a great value in the physicality of different places, and we don't want to make anything overwhelming or overbearing, but we could introduce some aspects, the useful aspects of those futuristic displays of just having, if you could see what your food would actually look like and how appetizing it could be, that could be a great help to different customers. If you could show in your window display accurately how something moves, how something reacts to different like fibers or touches, you can draw in more customers. So it really just be about enhancing the customer experience to the next level.
So that could be something like in a grocery store in the front window, you could just have like holograms of food, or TVs of food or whatever.
Exactly. And you could even take it a step further and have it show how a product works, or have it show what a product would look like in a house. Allowing it would just allow for customers to visualize things better and to understand what they're buying better.
Thank you, Lev, for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that your startup sees success in the future.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, sure. See ya. Thank you for watching this episode of the Entrepreneur Interview Series, presented by the Undergraduate Entrepreneurship Association at Carnegie Mellon University. That was Lev Stambler of Brite Signal. You can find out more about Brite Signal by visiting www.britesignal.com. That's spelled www.britesignal.com. For the Undergraduate Entrepreneurship Association of CMU, I'm Nix Pawlowski, wishing you good luck on all your future ventures. Thank you.